Hello and welcome. Today we're going to be making a simple, healthy dinner. The first thing you're going to want to do is get out all of your ingredients. Next, we're going to wash our hands. Wash with soap and water for at least 20 seconds. Make sure to scrub the front and back of your hand and in between your fingers. Next, we're going to start the rice. Measure out 2 cups. After this, we're going to rinse the rice. You can use a strainer or a sieve if you have one, or you can just use a bowl and lid like I am here. Now add your rice and 4 cups of water to a pot, cover, and bring to a boil. When the water boils, turn the heat down to a simmer and set a timer for 40 minutes. We are going to make a fun and fresh drink to have with your meal. Take 4 strawberries, the rest will be used later for dessert, and remove the stem. Cut the strawberries into small pieces. Add your strawberries to a small pot or saucepan. Now add 3 tablespoons of water. Turn your burner to high heat and then add 1 tablespoon of sugar. Bring this mixture to a boil and then reduce to simmer. Simmer until the strawberries are mushy and the syrup is thick. Now you can set this aside to cool. We will come back to this syrup at the end when we finish our drink. Now we are going to make the teriyaki sauce. First, peel your ginger. I'm using a knife, but the edge of a spoon also works great for peeling away the skin. Grate or finely chop the ginger until you have 1 teaspoon. Now measure out 3 tablespoons of brown sugar. Don't worry if it gets a little messy, that is a natural part of the cooking process. Also, don't forget that capital TBSP means tablespoons, and lowercase tsp means teaspoons. Now check on your rice and give it a good stir to prevent sticking. If it is just boiling, reduce heat to simmer now and set a timer for 40 minutes. Next, take your bulb of garlic and break off 2 cloves. Crush them with the flat edge of your knife and remove the loosened skin. Now you can use a grater or a knife to finely chop the garlic cloves. Don't worry about getting them tiny, they're all going to be going in the sauce anyway. Now get your soy sauce. You can take off the reducer cap for an easier pour. Measure out 1/3 cup of soy sauce and add it to a bowl. Now measure 1 cup of water and add that to the bowl. Now add your garlic, ginger, and brown sugar. Transfer the contents of the bowl to a small pot or saucepan. Give it a little stir and simmer on medium-high heat until all of the sugar is dissolved. This should be about 5 to 10 minutes. Now it's time to prepare the vegetables. These are the vegetables we chose to use today, but you can make this recipe with any produce that you have in your house. Wash the carrots, cauliflower, and pea shoots. Don't wash the mushrooms because they soak up all the water and lose their flavor. Don't forget to check on your rice and check on your sauce. The sauce may be ready to remove from the heat. Next, chop and measure your veggies. First, we will chop the carrots. A common misconception is that you need to peel your carrots. Ditch the peeler and save the flavor and the time. You can cut the carrots however you best prefer. We chose to cut them into little coins. Now chop the pea shoots and the mushrooms and put them all together on a plate, ready for cooking. Now check on the rice. If it is fully cooked, fluff it with a spoon or a fork and remove it from the heat. If you have decided to make cauliflower rice instead of or in addition to the brown rice, now is the time to do that. Remove the leaves and break off individual chunks of the cauliflower with your hand. Take one piece and use a box grater to grate it into rice. If you have a food processor with a shredding attachment, you can also use this. Grate until the entire head of cauliflower is grated into rice. Heat some oil in a pan over medium heat. You can test if the pan is hot by putting a pinch of the cauliflower in the pan. If it sizzles, it is ready to go. Add all of the cauliflower rice to the pan and stir. This is just a tiny bit of optional water to help the cauliflower rice steam. Now, season with salt and pepper. And then cover. Now you're going to get your stir-frying pan. Add about a tablespoon of oil to the pan and put over medium-high heat. Add your chicken to the pan and cook until it is entirely cooked through and there are no pink bits left. When the chicken is cooked, remove from the pan and set aside for later. Now, using the same pan, add another tablespoon of olive oil. The carrots take the longest to cook, so we are going to add these first over medium-high heat. Let the carrots soften in the pan for about 5 to 10 minutes. You can add a little bit of water to the pan to help steam the veggies. This softens them faster. Once the carrots are tender, add the mushrooms. If a few pea shoots fall in during this process, don't worry. We're only waiting to add them later so they don't wilt too much. Next, add the chicken back to the pan. Now, we are going to add a little bit of cabbage as well. This is not on the recipe, but we have some on hand and it's a great way to use it up. It's not necessary and the meal will be super tasty without any extras, but feel free to add any vegetables that you love and or have at home. Finally, we are going to add the pea shoots. Stir everything together and continue cooking on medium-high heat. Now we are going to add the teriyaki sauce to the stir-fry. Mix it all in to cover all of the chicken and vegetables in the sauce, and then allow to boil. I hope that yours smells as good as this one does. It's time to add a slurry. A slurry is a mixture of cornstarch and water, and it is added to the sauce to thicken it. In a bowl, mix 2 tablespoons of water with 2 tablespoons of cornstarch. Add the slurry to the sauce and mix in. Now the stir fry is ready. It's time to plate.